All right, so this is KDH here with Major Shaye Haver, United States Army, graduate of Copperas Cove High School in 2008. You're back here doing a couple of assemblies for the students, so just kind of briefly explain what you'll be talking to the students about today.
Yeah, I think what's really important is reminding them that I'm just like them, that I came from where they came from, that I walked the same halls that they walked, and I was able to take advantage of opportunities not just in high school, but then because of what I did in high school, it led to so many other opportunities, whether I was going to the United States Military Academy or my decision to serve my country and join the Army and continue to serve, to continue to make that decision by getting promoted and doing different jobs in the Army. And I think what I just want to expose them to is that what they see now and what they think that they're capable of now, that is maybe not narrow, but a small piece of the journey that is going to be their life. And there are so many opportunities that they can take that the military can give them. But even if they don't choose the military route, that they have a lot to look forward to. That what they see in me, they can see in themselves as well.
You know, talk to me about what kind of you were expecting when you graduated from high school and then when you got into the military academy.
Yeah, so I was an Army brat, and I grew up around the military, and so I think that I was at least exposed to what the military had to offer, job-wise and experience-wise potentially, but not the detail. And I think that my decision to serve personally came from when Iraq and Afghanistan, but Iraq specifically, my dad started to deploy. I started asking my mom questions about like what female, what could women do to serve in the military and whether they could have careers or not. And little did I know that during that time, like in that moment, that there were people downrange, women, doing jobs that women had never had the opportunity to do before that were going to shape my career and shape my opportunities moving forward. And so I think it was this idea that seeds were planted at certain probably key developmental times in my life that I had to kind of remember and then explore and push myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone in order to try something that maybe I didn't see someone that looked like me doing, but it was still something I was interested in. And like I said, little did I know that there are people that I was going to be standing on their shoulders all along the way throughout my career because they were doing things that they were interested in. So I had to follow that initial interest and like that gut feeling. And yeah, I think I was 12 years old when I asked my mom, like, can women have careers in the military?
Yeah.
And here I am today.
And you're one of the first 2 women in the Army to complete Ranger School. And, what was that experience like? What does that mean to you? And then also, you're assigned to the Old Guard, which is a very, very hard unit to be assigned to, of course. Just talk to me about what that means to have those opportunities where you're at now.
Sure. So I think that I never really thought about it specifically as something that I was doing, especially going to Ranger School as as a female. It was clearly in the back of my mind because the difference was that women weren't able to go before. And so what I really wanted to get set in my mind was that I was going to push myself to my personal limit, and I was trying to achieve a standard that was already set in stone by many men that had come before me that I respected and that I wanted to honor by meeting that same requirement. So what going to Ranger School meant for me was pushing myself to my potential and pushing myself beyond what I thought I was capable of, and then graduating from that was a validating feeling. Not that I had arrived, but that I could push myself beyond and to do hard things, regardless of what maybe my mind thought or what others thought or what people potentially thought was culturally acceptable or the right thing to do. Like it was right for me, and what I got to experience, it was right for the people that I was with as well. So I carried that with me into the rest of my time in the military. We call people who earn their Ranger tab and are Ranger qualified not just tab wearers, but tab bearers. And with all throughout the Ranger course, there are plenty of opportunities to test your character and your physical limits, but your moral, ethical, mental limits for sure. And what a cool experience to have that. Really not everybody gets. Not everybody gets to test their mettle to that extent and know what they're really made of. and I'm grateful that I had that, and I was able to lean on that even moving forward, no matter what job I was in, crappy weather circumstance, or difficult task that I was given to solve with the team. That I could rely on. I've done this before. There are great people around me that are just as committed and dedicated. I'm going to set the example by not giving up, by keeping a positive outlook, by believing that we are capable of accomplishing this thing and moving forward. So I think for me, what it meant, it was a confidence that gave me some consistency to continue to persist through. And then going into the old guard, I think that it was another way to challenge myself. But what I knew about that organization was it's elite level for the honorable image that it shows, and on behalf of the total force, that the old guard is looked at as a representation of perfection in a lot of ways, but the human aspect of what it is that we do. It's the life cycle. We get to have the soldier there, brand new soldier who's out there paying tribute and honor to our service members who pay the ultimate sacrifice, and we get to honor them with the highest level of honors that they have earned on behalf of our nation and what they've done. And not everybody gets to be so close to the real heartbeat of why we do what we do. So we ask people to do hard things. We ask people to go beyond themselves and to serve selflessly, but we also take care of them and take care of their families, and that unit is an ultimate representation of that.
What does this community mean to you, and what does it mean to come back to Copperas Cove High School and to talk to these students and inject your life into them?
Absolutely. So Copperas Cove is right in the backyard of Fort Hood. I think that it would be easy to forget in other places, but not here, that there is a community of service here. That family members are, whether they or not their family members serve, but the families in this community are touched by the impact that Fort Hood has. And I think that that's important to remember. Going to high school here was the first time that I got to stabilize for 4 years in one place, as I was a military brat. And I got to learn and grow and be exposed to so many different things in this environment that shaped my mental toughness, that shaped my interests and desires, and also to serve and follow my dad's footsteps. So I think that this, reminds me of the spark that I had in the initial decision making that I was having. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What am I going to be when I grow up? And I think that it's I don't know, it's kind of surreal to come back here and to share that with the very population that I could have been sitting right here listening to someone like me and being inspired by someone like me to pursue hard things and things I never thought or dreamed I could do before.